In this video, we will show you how to make decisions in round 2 of the Chocolate Factory Business Simulation game. When you start a new round, you should always start by analyzing the data from the previous month. In round 2, there is not much to analyze, yet you can check the results in 3 places: Dashboard, Workstations, and Finance. Let's start with the dashboard. Unfortunately, the data is not very optimistic. Your net income is negative, which means your company had a loss in the first month. This is because you have started investing in your company and incurred the first costs, for instance, to create workstations. But you haven't started selling your products yet, so there was no revenue. But don't worry, from this round on, you can start selling your products. Then, look at the Investments Workstations tab. It is now possible to switch the view between the Decisions and Results sections. After entering the Results tab, you can see how many workstations every team decided to prepare. Now let's go to the Finance tab. There are 4 elements there. You will find results in the first 3 of them. The first element is the financial report. You can check the key financial results here. For example, revenues, costs, lost sales, or debt. With every subsequent round, there will be more and more data for analysis here. The second element is the financial statement. Here, you will find the profit and loss account, balance sheet, as well as the cash flow statement. In the Bank tab, you can check the financial flows on your bank account. You can check how much money you received, how much you spent, and what is the account balance available. There is also an option to manage your finances by creating deposits and taking credits, but I'll tell you more about that later. After analyzing the results from the previous round, let's move on to the decisions of round 2. What is the main aim of this round? In round 1, you already planned what you want to sell in February and forecasted the demand. You've also purchased workstations that have already been prepared and are ready to be used by your new employees. The aim of this round is to manufacture the products and try to sell them. In other words, you know what the customers want to buy, so your job now is to provide the right number of employees, resources, and equipment to serve them. Once the supply is ready, you will set the prices for your products, and in the next round, you'll get the first sales results. Start round 2 by entering the Offer tab. You will see the products you selected and forecasted the demand for in round 1. If you've prepared the demand forecast for February in round 1, you do not have to change anything at this stage. If for any reason you have not done it yet, select the products you want to sell this round and make a demand forecast for each of them. Now, find out what you need to manufacture and sell given products. You can check it by pressing the Details button. Let me now take you through the process of preparing one product for sale. I'll start with the first one on the list, Banana Chips Chocolate Bar. Let's use the Details button to check what is required to produce and sell it. You can now see a box with the lists of equipment, employees, and resources required for this product. Please note that in this section, you can check what is required, but you don't make any decisions here. You can make them in the next 3 tabs: Investments/Equipment, HR/Employment, and Suppliers. Let's start from the first tab. You'll find the list of the required equipment here. It is divided into equipment required for the production and sales process. Your production workers will need chocolate molds, a chocolate shaving machine, a chocolate tempering machine, a cocoa paste grinding machine, a cocoa roaster, and a work table. Your salespeople will each need a computer set, a desk, an office chair, and a telephone. The second column of the table shows the requirement for given equipment. It shows how much time this equipment is required by the employee when manufacturing and selling the products. If the requirement is 100%, it means that an employee needs it through the whole production or sales time, and other people cannot use it at the same time. In the following columns, you'll find information about the approximate price of the equipment depending on its quality. The only thing you can see here is the purchase price, though. There may also be some monthly costs. Such details can be found in the Investments Equipment tab. You can export the list of necessary equipment to an Excel spreadsheet. This file, apart from the Equipment tab, contains other tabs too, the information about required employees and resources. Now it's time to calculate how many pieces of each type of equipment you need. I've already prepared an Excel spreadsheet where I'll calculate the total production and sales time for every piece of equipment to see how many I need to buy. In the first table, I've copied the demand forecasts for February, as well as production and sales time from the Offer tab. Then, I'll calculate how much time every piece of equipment is needed for every product. Again, I strongly encourage you to build your own spreadsheets that'll help you make decisions every round. Start with the production equipment. Multiply the monthly demand forecast by the production time of one product. This way, you'll learn how much time your production worker will occupy every machine to manufacture a product. If a machine is used to manufacture various products, calculate the time needed for each of them and then add to get a total required equipment time. Let's see how it looks in practice with my banana chips chocolate bars. I need 6 types of production machines. I want to manufacture 900 banana chips chocolate bars, and it will take my employee 0.05 hours to produce each of them. We already know that the employee occupies the machine at 100% when they are using it, so each machine will be occupied for 45 hours. This is calculated as 900 bars times 0.05 hours. So, how many machines do I need? I hope you remember from the dashboard that equipment monthly working time is 160 hours. If the machine is needed for 45 hours, it means we need to purchase one machine of this type. Of course, I calculated the required time only for one product. If you decided to offer more products, now calculate the required time for each of them in exactly the same way. Then, sum up the required time for each of them and compare it with 160 hours. As you can see, my spreadsheet is prepared for this purpose. In the columns highlighted in yellow, it will add the time needed for every product to calculate the number of machines needed. Now, do the same thing with the sales equipment. Just this time, multiply the demand forecast times the sales time. Since all the numbers in the last column are less than 1, it means that I need one piece of each type of equipment. Okay, so now you know what kind and how many pieces of equipment you need. And just to remind you, you don't buy the equipment here in the Offer tab. Here, you find out what you need, use it to calculate the required numbers, and then you buy it in the Investments Equipment tab. So, let's move on to this tab. After entering the Investments Equipment tab, you'll see the available workstations. You'll have as many workstations as you bought in the previous round. Now it's time to buy the required equipment. If you've prepared for just one workstation, then it's clear. You can equip only one. If you prepared for more, remember to buy only as much equipment as you really need. You can leave some workstations empty to be used in the future. Press the Buy Equipment button on the selected workstation. You'll see the list of the equipment that you can buy. Which equipment should you buy? Well, remember that the list of the required equipment can always be found in the Offer tab, after clicking the Details button. On the list, next to each equipment, you'll find information about its quality, from 1 to 3 stars, the cost of purchase, and monthly costs. First, equip the production workstations. Decide what quality of equipment you want to buy. High-quality equipment is more expensive, but employees will be happier with it. In my case, I'll go for standard quality. For the production of banana chips chocolate bars, I need to buy 6 types of equipment: chocolate molds, a chocolate shaving machine, a chocolate tempering machine, a cocoa paste grinding machine, a cocoa roaster, and a work table. I confirm my purchase by pressing the OK button. In the Purchased in the Current Round section, I can see the pieces of equipment that are ready to be used in my company. If it turns out that you bought a wrong piece of equipment, for example, you selected the wrong quality of equipment that is not required at this point, you can simply delete it. Remember that until the game is advanced to the next round, you can change every decision. When you have the required production equipment, go to the sales workstations to purchase the equipment needed by your sales staff. When everything is ready, go back to the Offer tab and let's see what's next. In the Offer tab, go back to the details for the banana chips chocolate bar. We've bought the equipment already, so let's go to the Employees tab. To offer this product to my customers, I have to hire a production worker and a sales specialist. In the table, you can see the average salary of such employees, depending on the experience level shown with stars. And again, in this tab, we can only check the requirements. Decisions are made in the menu, in the HR tab. Let's go to the HR Employment tab. Here, you can see the workstations you bought in the previous round. You can hire a maximum of as many employees as the number of your workstations. Remember that in round 1, after making the demand forecast, we already calculated how many employees we need to hire. In my case, it was 1 employee of each kind to produce and sell all products in February. If you've prepared more workstations than the number of employees you need right now, just leave them empty to be used in the future. Start with hiring the production employee. When you click on the empty employee avatar on a production workstation, you will see a list of production workers available on the market. The list presents their photos, names, experience, occupation, expected salary, employment costs, and possible severance costs. We can also see the percentage of customers previously satisfied with the work of this employee and the risk of complaint. We can sort the list of employees by any of the candidates' characteristics, for example, expected salary or experience. After selecting the candidate you decided to hire, press the Employee button. You will then see a place to enter the salary and determine the type of contract. When determining the salary for an employee, take into account the minimum gross salary on the market and how much the employee would like to earn. That is, their expected salary. You can offer employees any amount that is higher than the minimum salary, and they will accept your offer. But if they do not get the amount they want, they won't be satisfied. And remember that employee satisfaction is one of the elements of the ranking presented in the scorecard. When it comes to the type of contract, you can choose between a full-time contract and a temporary contract. In both cases, the working time of the employees is the same, 160 hours. The difference is in the costs and employee satisfaction. Employees prefer a full-time contract. However, for the employer, the full-time contracts means higher costs because in addition to the gross salary, extra employers' contributions must be paid. Remember that you'll find information about it on the dashboard. If everything is ready, press the Confirm button. As you can see, the employee now occupies the workstation. After clicking on the picture, you can check the employee's file. If it turns out that you accidentally chose the wrong employee, then, until the game is moved forward to the next round, you can change this decision. By clicking the Cancel Employment button, the workstation will be open again, and you'll be able to choose another candidate. But remember that if you decide to dismiss the employee next month, you'll have to pay the severance pay. Now, do the same thing with the sales specialists. Once you've selected your candidates, you'll see a summary of the salary costs of all employees at the top of this page. If you hired them full-time, the summary will include the extra cost of employers' contributions. Okay, we've already bought the equipment and hired the employees. So, let's get back to the Offer tab and find out what to do next. After clicking the Details button under Banana Chips Chocolate Bar, choose the Resources tab. You will find a list of 5 types of resources there, which are required to manufacture this type of bar. For each bar, you will need banana bites, chocolate wrapper, cocoa beans, cocoa butter, sugar. Next to every resource on the list, you'll find details about the amount needed to produce one bar. You can also see average prices of different qualities of this resource there. So now it's time to calculate the demand for all resources. I will again use an Excel file that I've prepared earlier. In my file, I prepared a special tab where I copied the list of resources required for the production of the Banana Chips chocolate bars and the demand forecast from the Offer tab. I also prepared a table where I'll calculate the required amount of resources. In order to produce one Banana Chips chocolate bar, I need the following resources. Banana bites, 10 grams per 1 bar. Chocolate wrapper, 1 wrapper per 1 bar. Cocoa beans, 70 grams per 1 bar. Cocoa butter, 10 grams per 1 bar. Sugar, 10 grams per 1 bar. So now let's calculate how many resources we need to produce 900 Banana Chips chocolate bars. Banana bites. I'll now multiply 900 times 10 grams. The total amount of banana bites I need is 9,000 grams, or 9 kilograms. Chocolate wrapper. 1 wrapper per 1 bar, so I need 900 wrappers. Cocoa beans. 900 times 70 grams gives me 63,000 grams, which is 63 kilograms. Cocoa butter. 900 times 10 grams is 9,000 grams, or 9 kilograms. And sugar. Also 900 times 10 grams is 9,000 grams, or 9 kilograms. Now I know the amounts. Let's go and purchase the resources. You can purchase the resources in the Suppliers tab. Here you'll find companies providing resources. All suppliers offer all the possible resources, but their offers differ in price. You can buy all resources from one company, or you can carefully analyze the offers and choose the best option from every supplier. The choice is yours. Under every supplier's name, you'll find the following buttons. The resource database is the catalog of the company's products. After pressing this button, you'll find the exact offer of this supplier, and you can order the necessary resources there. The button Show Ordered Resources will take you to a table in which the resources that you have already ordered from this supplier will be displayed. It's something similar to a shopping cart in an online store. There are a few more things you need to know about the suppliers. First thing is the supplier type. You can buy from local suppliers or big global corporations. Buying from local suppliers is a way of supporting local communities and helping to build sustainable businesses. Then you'll have to decide what to do with the resources that you don't use. For example, when you produce fewer products than you planned or purchase too many packages, the resources can be either left in stock to be used next month, or the order from the supplier can be canceled. In both cases, there is some cost. When you decide to keep the resources in stock, you'll bear the storage costs. If you decide to cancel the order, the supplier will charge you 10% of the returned resources value for the cancellation. You decide which option you want in the Return of Excess Resources section. There's a Select button. Automatically, it is not selected, which means the unused resources will be kept in stock. If you select it and the button turns green, all the unused resources will be returned to the supplier. You make this decision for every supplier separately. Now let's open the resource database for any of the suppliers. You'll see a list of all the resources that you can buy from this company. What's very important is to see that the resources are not sold individually, but in large packages or sets. For example, banana bites are sold in 7 kilogram packages, and bay leaves are sold in 1 kilogram packages. This means that before I make my resource purchases, I need to check the size of packages in the supplier's offer. So let's go back to my Excel file. I've added another column showing the size of packages sold by suppliers to calculate my final order. I took the numbers from the resource database from one of the suppliers. As we've seen a moment ago, for example, banana bites are sold in 7 kilogram packages. I changed kilograms into grams to have the same unit as my previous calculations. So you can see 7,000 grams as the purchase unit. The last thing we need to do now is calculate the order. That is the number of packages that I'll buy from suppliers. I'll divide the total amount of the resources I've previously calculated by the size of the package. As you can see, most of the outcomes are not whole numbers. We need to round them because the suppliers do not sell halves or quarters of a package. So, for example, when it comes to banana bites, I need 1.29 of a package. So, to be able to produce all the bars I planned, I need to purchase 2 packages. If you want to keep the planned production volumes, always round the numbers up. Now return to the supplier section and purchase all the resources you need. I will now buy from one supplier, but I encourage you to compare the offers and optimize your purchases to find the best deals from all suppliers. Just like previously with the equipment, decide about the quality of the resources. I'll purchase everything in standard quality. Banana bites. I need 2 packages. Chocolate wrapper. I need 9 packages. Cocoa beans. I need 3 packages. Cocoa butter. I need 8 packages. And I need 1 package of sugar. When you finish your order, press the Save button to confirm the purchase of the selected resources. Everything we have bought can be viewed after pressing the Show Ordered Resources button. Here, you can change the ordered quantity or remove a resource in case it turns out that you've bought too much by mistake. I've now shown you how to purchase resources for the production of one type of chocolate bar. If you plan on offering more products, add the necessary calculations in your spreadsheets so that you know how many resources you need to manufacture all 2 or 3 products. When it comes to the Banana Bites chocolate bar, we've already bought the equipment, hired employees, and ordered resources. So we can now plan the production volume. Let's now move to the Production tab. If you have fulfilled all of the requirements, that is, purchased the right equipment and resources, as well as hired the right people, the products will appear as ready to be manufactured. Your task now is to set the production volume, or, in other words, tell your production team how many chocolate bars you want them to produce this month. Next to every product, you'll see your demand forecast from the Offer tab. Since this is the number of products you expect your customer to buy, it only makes sense to set the production volume at the same level. If you want to sell 900 bars, you need to produce 900 bars. In the following months, the situation will be a bit more complicated because if you do not sell all products, some will be left in stock. So, next month, when you set the production volume, you'll need to consider how many products you still have from the previous month. Once you set the production volume, make sure to use the Check Resources button to verify if you have enough of everything to manufacture this number of products. If the verification is positive and you see that available resources allow you to produce the planned volume, you are good to go forward. But if you get feedback that available resources are insufficient to produce the planned volume, you need to go back and check if you purchased the right number of resources. It's also possible that you will not have enough employees or equipment, but start with checking the resources. When the production verification is positive, move on to the Sales tab. If all of the requirements have been met, meaning you actually have all the necessary equipment, the right employee, and the right resources, the product will appear in the Sales tab as ready for sale. The only thing left to do is turn it on and set its price. You'll find some additional details next to every product. Expected price. This is the approximate price that customers expect to pay for a given product. Customers will also accept a higher price if it's connected with higher quality. And, of course, they'll be more than happy if the price is lower. The price is up to you. Set it according to your pricing policy. Average market price will be available from round 3. It tells you what the average market price of the product is, based on the prices set by all the companies offering this product last month. So let's turn on the Banana Chips chocolate bar using the Select button. 2 fields will appear, one for entering the price and the second for entering the discount. The expected price will automatically appear in the price field, but you can modify it according to your strategy. The discount is not obligatory. You can use it to make your offer more attractive. The customers will pay the final price reduced by the discount. In this way, we have prepared the first product for sale from scratch. However, remember that if you choose to sell 2 or 3 products, now you have to deal with the remaining requirements. We have to go back to the Offer tab and, similarly to what we did with the Banana Chips chocolate bar, analyze the requirements for equipment, employees, and resources. I'll give you a small tip. For the first 3 products, the equipment and employee requirements are the same. So, actually, you only need to take care of the resources. What to do if the product still does not appear in the Sale tab, despite the fact that you've already bought equipment, resources, and hired an employee? If this is the case, you should check if you have really bought all the required elements. The system will tell you where to look for the error so that you'll know if the problem lies with the equipment, resources, or employees. So if the product is not ready for sale, always go back to the Offer tab first and check the requirement in the Details button. Then read carefully what is needed and, step by step, check the Equipment, Employees, and Suppliers tab if everything is purchased. After preparing your offer, when the price is set for all services, you can go to the Finance/Bank tab. You can manage your finances there by creating a deposit or taking a credit. If you want to create a deposit, enter its amount and length. If you want to take a credit, press the Take a Credit button and enter the length and amount of the credit. The system will automatically calculate installments and interest rates. In the Bank tab, you'll also find the Emergency Loan tab. This type of credit is taken out by the system automatically when you run out of funds. It's also automatically repaid when you make a profit and when there are funds available for repayment. This is very important information because if it turns out that your costs are very high and the revenues from customers and funds in your bank account are not enough to cover them, the bank will automatically give you an emergency loan. You have already made all the decisions for this round. It's time for one more strategic decision. Let's go back to the Investments Workstations tab. Do you plan to hire another employee in the next round? Remember that a new employee will need their place of work, a workstation. And because the workstation is created with a one-round delay, you have to take care of it in this round. If you develop your company and add new products, you can add 3 new products to your offer every round, it may turn out that you need more employees. If you need additional workstations for March, buy them now. If you have enough and you don't need more, you don't need to do anything in this tab. Remember to always check the checklist at the end. If there are no mistakes, we can send the decisions and wait for the game to be moved to the next round. An important piece of information about the checklist is that the system does not verify if you have bought the right quantities to serve the forecasted demand. So, it does not verify if you have enough employees, have bought enough equipment, or have ordered the right amount of cocoa beans or cocoa butter. The system only checks if, for example, you have forgotten about some tab or have forgotten to perform some key action. If everything is ready, submit your decisions.